Incredible greetings. I'm late again. It's I told y'all it's really hard for me to have a set time because I run my business. And I had customer service calls this morning. So I do apologize. She was like, I finally got a notification. Hi Kay. Good morning, Latoya. Good morning, incredible morning, everybody. And I'm losing my voice. I am hoarse. But hello, everyone. Welcome. I know I'm a little bit late. Technically, for you guys over on TikTok and YouTube, I'm like I'm a whole day late because our live Q&A is supposed to be on Wednesdays. So, yeah. I'm a whole day late over here. But never a dollar short. Never that. But I had a customer service call this morning. So I had to deal with that. So we are a little behind today. But hey, we're still going to get it done. We're going to help some folk today, answer a few questions. Let me go ahead and just get this all shared out. Hello, Carol, watching from work. Cheryl, how art thou? Thank you for sharing the video. I really do appreciate the shares. I appreciate the double taps as you guys come in. The comments just saying hello. Let me know where you guys are watching from. That definitely helps push the video as soon as we get on. So when you guys do that, it really does help the broadcast. Even if you can't stay very long, if you can drop a couple taps, as well as drop your, where you're watching from, or just say hi. Let me know you're in the room, or you at least got your notification and I came across your FYP. I think I did this page already. Did I already do? I don't remember. I actually don't remember now what I clicked on. When it came to sharing this out. Alrighty. There we go on that. All right, let me pull you guys up over here. I have to turn all of my audio off. If not, we're going to get feedback. All right, there we go. Hello, everyone. Incredible morning. Welcome in. Hey, just say thank you for checking in from West Virginia. Incredible morning, listening in from work. I'm hoping that the internet has been given back to the people, and who the F that I married doesn't still have people in the chokehold, so we can actually have people on this live video. Hey, Bevy Jean, Yolanda, incredible morning. Jennifer, thank you guys so much for hopping on. You're on one of the YouTube channels. I mean, if you click out of the live chat and look under the video, it'll tell you which YouTube channel you are on. Let's see. Incredible morning. Not seeing the share on YouTube yet. I'm not sure what you mean. that you're trying to share it. Incredible morning, Valerie. No, I didn't go live yesterday. Incredible morning. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in. Incredible morning. I just started watching that on yesterday. Unbelievable. Yeah. It's another lady that's doing one now. It's not as structured, but hey, I'm here for it all. I'm being nosy. It's just not as structured. It's all over the place, but hey, the fact that everybody's telling their story, it's like it has TikTok and well, now every platform in the chokehold because people have been dropping it on Facebook, YouTube. I've seen it on it's like it's just literally everywhere right now. Yes, it is sheer just straight entertainment. So it's crazy. But hello, 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 everyone. Incredible morning. Welcome to another episode of Hey Professor, as my 12-year-old has coined this. This I'm going to actually change the thumbnail for this as well. But this is our weekly live Q&A session. I chose the one that said for beginners, but it doesn't have to be for beginners. I actually had someone that asked me recently, will I only be doing content for beginners, or will I have like more advanced things coming down the pipeline or whatever? And uh-oh. So it's kind of oh, come on, man. All right, let's see. Why does it keep going up? Hi, Dios míos. Okay, please give me a moment. I don't know why my phone keeps doing this. It keeps going out of StreamYard. And because I only have one monitor here, I have to... Okay, yeah, I don't want to be on stage. All right, there we go. So, what's I'm saying? Dang it. This made me lose my whole train of thought. Dang it, what was I saying? I lost my whole train of thought. Oh, yeah. So, normally people will say, like, ask about beginners, and I typically start off, because like a lot of my audience are beginners. Like, I mean, I know, and there's some people that have been with me for years, so they want to kind of do like let's say like paper crafting or party favors that are a little bit more advanced than like your typical things that you would find, and ask me, am I going to do classes? I have to ensure that I have the audience for it. I don't want to schedule something like that and I end up with 3 people in class. It doesn't really make it worthwhile to do it. So I'll have to like slowly roll that out and put it out there that we're going to do I guess like would be like more for her, it was more like advanced templates and like the really, really layered ones, or setting up your gable boxes, like not just to put something like a panel on the front, but kind of like how I did the one in my party favor class, which I'm like, that one was, I mean, I say it's for beginners, but I think I kind of more so like advertised it, but our party favor one, it wasn't necessarily like just beginners, because I mean, I put a lot of elements on there. I was showing a bunch of different things. But she was more so as like, like the little boxes and templates for that and adding. So I am looking for suggestions, and I'm saying suggestions from those who have been doing these things. So whether it's like want to do more advanced designs when it comes to shirts or invitations, parties, it was more so from the party favor community. But I need to know that you've been doing this for at least 2 years. Like, to me, advanced, and if you're ready for like that level, I can't be going through like the true beginner stuff. And it's like that, at least how to put them together. And it's just really getting into like more advanced designs. You have to be doing this at least, I mean, a year to 2 years. is the audience I will be looking for with that. If you're somebody that like just joined, you're just learning Silhouette Studio, I'm gonna tell you right now, the advanced ones like that on that level will not be for you. Now, we do have the bachelor's program coming up, which will be designing for beginners. Like, it's not going to be these extreme designs you guys probably want to do, because I understand the value of learning foundation and setting that foundation properly. And it's going to be designs that you can build on. Then you have masters, which is going to be a little bit, it's like intermediate. And then our advanced will be the doctorate program for design. How be ever, there are going to be a lot of prerequisites before, or if you decide that you don't fit those prerequisites and you have FOMO and you don't want to miss out and you join that program, do understand that the pace is not going to be a slow of, okay, I don't have my trace, I don't know how to use edit points. This is going to be getting you, so yesterday I was showing a design. Let's see, do I still have that up on Silhouette Studio? I don't, but I think I can quickly open it. So let's see. Yep, there is hers right there. And let's, okay. So yesterday when I was showing this one, some people were asking about, someone was saying like, I wouldn't even know what to look for, because this part right here is actually a really big, like it's a background with like some spotlights on it and stuff. So you can see what that background is, but I cropped it down, into this chevron shape and like had certain parts. So on TikTok yesterday, we were talking about like what I would search for to be able to find things like this. So, what was I going to say? It's like things like that. Learning the program, learning how to crop things down, that's learning the tools and functions. Learning to design is learning or training your brain on what it is that you're really trying to do, being able to identify like what keywords you should be looking up on whatever site, wherever you get your images from. So I have quite a few places that I do pay subscriptions for to be able to find images. I am not going to be the one where I'm going to create this full-on design, but I'm also going to create like this part, and I'm going to make the honeycombs, for lack of better words. I'm going to make the grill. I'm going to put the shadowing, and like, now if I maybe had like this, let's say if it was the whole thing, because you can get that pattern where it's the whole thing. Now I could go into Photoshop and I could blur out, and I can put the effect on there of making the outside black with my brush tool and stuff like that. I can add, I could have added my own spotlights and things like that, or I could have just had this without the spotlights. I could have done that in Photoshop. Now, if let's say if I didn't find this, I could have done that part in Photoshop, but I am not the girly who is going to be making this. Do I have the know-how? Yes. Is it worth the time? Absolutely not. For me, I just feel like certain elements, there are designers and that is their job. Like that is the career that they've chosen for themselves, the business that they have built for themselves, where they are going to make elements like this. Like they're going to pump them out because they're not worried about making a final product. They're not really worried about like trying to market. Like they're focused on creating design elements. That is a full-time job for a lot of people, a full-time job. And I thank them for it. Like, I'm glad that they have made that their full-time job. This is why we have hundreds and thousands or tens of thousands of images on Canva, on Creative Fabrica, on PNG Tree, on Vector Stock, on like different stock photos. You have photographers who will take pictures. Like, now everyone's trying to do it with AI, but like everything with AI is like all so like smooth, and it's just, it's too perfect sometimes. But you have people who are taking real pictures, and they take these pictures and they're what's called stock photos. Everything that you do for your website, everything that people put in ebooks, people put in regular books, they are not pictures that someone went and said, I'm going to pay for these pictures, or I'm going to pay for a photographer to come in. They're going to take these pictures specifically for my ebook, my company, my website. People use what's called stock photos in every industry. When it comes to gyms, if it comes to like anything with health and wellness and fitness and weight loss, food bloggers, food journals, like they will have pictures of tables of vegetables. That's not in their kitchen. Like, that is an industry standard. You have graphic designers that will have subscriptions to different places, and they will get stock photos. That is a pro tip for all of my crafters who are watching. While you're out here wrecking your brain trying to figure out how to create every single element of your design, the professionals are saying, ain't nobody got time for that. Don't nobody have time for that. And we're going to go get stock photos. So with me, when it comes to the more advanced classes, I'm going to be focusing more on that. Now, you have to be willing to, that's why I said, maybe if you're in it and you see you see value in having subscriptions. I have multiple subscriptions. I would not be able to produce the level of designs that I do just by using free resources. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. I'm just, here to tell you, it's not going to happen. You can take any and every class that you want, learn to do Photoshop, and have this mindset of, I'm learning to, so I don't ever have to buy a file again. That's bull. Because in the commercial, in the corporate world, folks is buying files. Like, graphic designers are buying files to add to modify, and things like that. So that's will be one of my main goals in the design one, is teaching you how to look for the right files, helping you to train your brain muscles to where, let's say you are doing something and it's like a Western feel. You know the type of fonts that you should be searching for. You know the type of images and backgrounds you should be searching for this particular theme. That is what you have to start learning once you get into designing. Learning a program is one thing. Learning to crop, learning to subtract, learning to use your pen tool, learning to add text, change text, add colors. That is learning a design program, learning the tools and functions. That way, once you're focusing on designing, you don't have to go back. You understand what these tools and functions do. You understand where you're supposed to go to access these tools and functions. And it's not a, oh, you're moving too fast. I can't see where you clicked at. I don't know what you, if you're in a design class and that instructor says, we're going to go to the modify tool, it's already like you should have a beeline to that modify tool when you're in a design class. If you do not know where 60, now I'm not even going to say 50, if you do not know where 60% of the icons and functions are located within your system, to where if somebody says right now, go to the modify panel, or if you're in Photoshop, go to, click on this and convert it to a smart object. Go place embedded. We're going to click here and we're going to go to content aware fill. If these are things that you are not familiar with, you should be in somebody's essentials class. You should be in somebody's beginner class, whether it's one at 365 Creative Academy, if you go to Udemy, if you go to Skillshare, wherever you go, you should be in somebody's basic, foundational, for lack of better words, boring AF class, because most of you guys consider that part to be boring. You want to be in a design class where someone like, okay, she teaching a class on senior posters. Okay, I want to learn how to do all of this, like putting this together. And the moment I go through and I'm like doing X, Y, and Z, it's like, wait, where'd you go for that? What'd you do for this? Please, guys, I cannot stress it enough how important it is to learn the foundation. It goes a little bit faster than most schools. If you were to go to school for graphic designing, do you know how long it takes most of those students to actually get to the designing part? It takes a while. But as crafters, you're trying to rush the process. So I will be doing more advanced ones to be able to know how to put, one of my favorite chilies, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Well, how to put things like this together. How to not automatically disregard not so great pictures. Not everybody will have professional pictures, like my girl Janaya here. Sometimes you're going to get some selfies, but there are things that you can do. There are design techniques that you can do to make those look good. For all of the people who say, I can't design in text, I'm not creative enough for that. That's when you really need to be in somebody's design program. Somebody's comment got filtered out. So if you just made a comment over on TikTok, please kind of switch it up or maybe break it up and see which words. I can't tell like which words they have filtered out. So because I don't have any filters on mine. So just try and repost it because it filters your comment. All right. So do know that it's going to come. You'll be able to visualize, conceptualize, be able to create with, it may take, because even with me, like, I'm not saying that these ideas come off the dome. This design right here probably had 3 or 4 different variations before we got here. It really, probably had about 3 or 4 variations of this, before we got here. So know that it won't always be you're going to sit in front of your system and the design is going to come. Your first version of it may not be your last, but also know that that first version holds value. There's going to be a technique in there. There's going to be an element that you search for. It didn't work for that, but guess what? It can work for something else. Don't look at your first versions or don't look at the designs that you scrapped as just being trash. Don't delete them. I have 1,000,001 files because I don't delete anything, which is why I had to invest in a 1 terabyte and a 12, no, sorry, no one, a 4 terabyte. Also, I have a 12 terabyte cloud drive because I don't delete anything. Everything that I create in these programs, I'm pretty sure if it came to my brain, it's for something. Like I, without a shadow of a doubt, I know that it came into my brain for something and it will be used for something. This is why I am I create long titles for stuff. I'm very descriptive a lot of the times in my titles. I will put something, if it's not a final design, I put draft on it. So if I wanted to go and just look for something, and let's say I don't remember exactly what I named it, I'm going to put draft. I'm normally putting draft on it. So if I do a search for just drafts, and I know that it was in one of my drafts, like the fact that it kind of gives you, like Photoshop when you are doing it, just save the Photoshop file, it doesn't give you a preview. This is another reason why I absolutely love Silhouette Studio, especially now that with I think it came in like 4.2 or maybe 4.3, where you get a preview of what's in the file. Like seeing this. Now, if I'm on, let me go over here. If we're in Photoshop, we don't get this preview. You don't get this preview. See, Photoshop, you get a PSD icon. That's it. My Silhouette Studio files, I have a preview of what's in there. So I am able to put draft in, and I can see what was there, and I can kind of click on that, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's what I'm looking for, if I didn't remember the name. So when I'm saying like this is just another reason, and I'm not sure if my assistant is on here. I need that as a reminder to myself to put that in my ebook about like another reason, one of the reasons why I love Silhouette Studio is the preview of the files. You don't get that with other programs. Now, if you are in Photoshop and you are like, you go to the files and they're on your cloud, you can go through that and you're going to see basically what the hell? Okay. You're going to see a preview of things, but that's only the ones that are here and that's on your cloud. When you're looking at it on your computer, you don't get that. Another reason why I love Silhouette Studio. Like, it just makes my life easier on so many different levels. All right. So let's see. Thank you. Oh, yes, Jesse. And you know what? Even ask me about it. And I will make sure that he gets, I forget what it is. You remember, I don't deal with a lot of the logistics. I think he tried to email, and then I think I end up emailing, and I saw the email, but it came to my email and not his. So I will make sure, and it keeps slipping my mind. That's why sometimes it's better to like put messages on the actual website because more than one person sees it. But I will make sure that I forward that over so that he can do whatever it was. Because I don't even remember what, because I think I emailed you the wrong, because there was a couple people that he emailed through the website and they didn't respond back for different reasons. And I think I mixed it up. So yours might be one. I'm not sure if it was just the address for yours, or if it was that, because we had a glitch with the system where some people were not charged for the 8.5-inch rolls of sublimation paper. So I don't remember. So I will forward it to him, and he should take care of that today or tomorrow. Okay. Okay. So I just got out and come back to be able to comment. New phone. Okay. The beginner's class, I'm not ashamed to say I'm a newbie. Again, I say I can't see why I want to learn another program besides Silhouette Studio. Now, there are thank you so much for that, Cheryl. There are, benefits to learning other programs. You are going to get to a point to where you definitely need to learn a different program. In this particular design, this part right here is not something that I could do in Silhouette Studio because it has what's called a blend mode. So there is a picture of the schools. There's certain things over, and I know we talked about tints and adding like tints and stuff to things, but this is doing a blend mode with a color overlay is a little bit different. Blend modes for this part here. Would you believe me if this was purple? This one right here has a black outline around it. And there's this thing that's called the blend mode is screen. So you make it screen to remove the black, and you just see the white, the white elements on top of anything. And then there's a color overlay over the whole thing, like over that, like over those layers. I don't know if this one had like grouped and it was a color overlay over the whole thing. I don't remember if I used smart color. I probably used smart colors. And then like, so it's a lot of things in Photoshop. So for this particular background, I did have to create this in Photoshop, but it was easier for me. Once I had this part done in Photoshop, it sounds crazy, but it was definitely easier for me to now come back over here and actually create the rest of the design. I know it sounds very crazy, but it definitely is. Things like the outline on 2023, you cannot get sharp outlines like that in Photoshop. When you do a stroke, it rounds it off. So, like I said, some things are just easier for me here, but I do use other programs for more advanced design styles. Not everybody needs to get to that point because, I mean, aside from it being a specific school, you can use stock photos. Like you can go and have someone like make this where it's something different here. It doesn't have to be like their school, and you will be able to use that in a design. So at some point you will, you may, like I say, you will, but you may need to learn like other programs, even if it's not Photoshop. I mean, you have Photo P, which is kind of a free version of Photoshop that is web-based. So there are some limitations. And you also have, well, Canva can't do all of that because Canva doesn't have blend modes either. But, you know, like I said, in the description, it's kind of funny that you said it. In the description, I think I have in there that I can help you with questions from Silhouette Studio, Photoshop, Canva, and Cricut Design Space. I don't really use Cricut Design Space, but I know Cricut Design Space to where I can answer questions. But Silhouette Studio, Photoshop, and Canva are ones that I frequent, and I go back and forth between those different platforms to create designs. Okay. I just really love your teaching style. Also, you are very informative. Thanks for all you do. Thank you so much, Dee Dee. What edition of Photoshop do you use? It's just the most current version. So I'm not sure what you mean as far as like what version of Photoshop. It's just Photoshop. I pay for it. I have the full I'm not sure if you mean like that. I have the full Creative Studio. So I have access to every single program that Adobe has, but you can get Photoshop by itself. Now, Photoshop is just Photoshop. So we can go there real quick. Let's just open up another window. And we're going to go to Adobe. Now they're saying save 40%, but so it's for the first year only. They have a plan going on where you can save 40% on Adobe for the first year. If you are a teacher, if you work if you actually not even say a teacher or student, if you have an email address that has edu attached to it, there is, but you have to sign up through that particular email. That's kind of how they do the verification. I believe with Canva, it might be free. But with with Adobe, there is a discounted rate for students and teachers, like basically anyone with like an edu email address. So that's a little tip for you if you're interested in getting like Photoshop or whatever. So Photoshop, some people will ask about like, what edition, do you use? And it's not necessarily an edition of it, but there are different price points for Photoshop. And so this is the one for all of the apps, and it is normally $60 per month. With the 40% off, it will be $35.99 per month for the first year. Of course, after that, it'll be $60. If you end up using all of them, it is definitely worth it. I use 4 of them: Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, and Lightroom. So it's definitely worth it. I'm going to go to, wait, why are you not showing me? I just want to see Photoshop. I don't want to go Creative Cloud. Did I click on the Creative Cloud one? Maybe I did. Okay, yeah, I was on, no, Feature Products, Photoshop. Why are you taking me to Creative Cloud? I don't want to go to that one. I want to go to the one for just Photoshop. Okay, actually, I think, okay, I can go to Compare Plans. This is not, because there's a $9 one. Did it go away from the $9 one? Because this one has Lightroom and it's $19.99, but I could have sworn there was one for $9.99, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm tripping. Or is that the student one? Okay, I knew I wasn't crazy. I was like, wait a minute now, hold up. I know one. So the difference in it is, so if this is what you mean as far as what edition or what version do I have for Photoshop? And I said, I use Creative Cloud, but they have different plans. The $9.99 plan, not the Lightroom, this $9.99 right here. Okay. And this one over here. So this one is $20. This one is $22. The difference is you get 20 gigs of cloud storage here. You get 1 terabyte here. So remember when I was showing you the part where you can click on it and you can see all these files and you can actually see what's in that? Those are on the cloud. Anything that was just the blue PSD or like the Photoshop icon, that is on my computer. That has nothing to do with the cloud. You can make as many Photoshop files as you want. You can save as many of them on your computer. But as far as what will be stored in the cloud, that is what's limited in each plan. So here it is 1 terabyte. Here it is only 20 gigs if you do $9.99. If you add additional $10 and get the $19.99, the Photoshop does not change. The Photoshop is the Photoshop. It doesn't change. The only thing, you still get access to Lightroom. The only thing that changes is you have 1 terabyte of cloud storage. And then this one is, so with this one, it is, oh, okay. So if you pay monthly, it's actually $34.49. Only if you pay for it annually do you, it basically breaks down $22.99. I'm guessing, I guess if you select the annual plan and you're committing to paying it for a year, because then this says prepaid, like for 1 year is $263.88 if you do this. Okay. This one gives you only, so this plan, it says 100 gigs of cloud storage, step-by-step tutorials, Adobe Portfolio, Adobe Fonts. You get access to Photoshop, Adobe Fresco, which my girl, Coco Twins, she uses that one instead of like Procreate. So Adobe Fresco is something that you would be able to use on like an iPad with your Apple Pencil. Coco Twins, I know, uses that one instead of like Procreate. And you'll get that with this. You have Photoshop Express, Adobe Firefly. Now, I do believe this one may have, so with the regular $19 one, or you can do $239.88 for the year. This particular one, you don't get Fresco. Now, the other one, you do get Fresco, but you also get less storage space. This particular one gives you 1 terabyte. So, man, this is literally, I could literally teach you a masterclass on business based off of how Adobe is setting up their packages. So for those who want to do like packages, especially for grad season and stuff like that, and certain instructors, or you might be getting guidance to say do these bundles and heavily discount them, and oh, people love bundles because they're getting a deal and da 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 da. And sometimes it can be a bundle to where people think they're getting a deal, but you're not really discounting it. But I see so many people when they're posting, their prices and things like that. I'm like, man, they're giving it away. Just because you're bundling it doesn't mean that you give this steep discount. It can be a very small discount, but they have different pricing structures, but what you get in each one is different. If you value storage more and you don't have an iPad, then this is all you're really going to need, because that's really the only difference. You get Lightroom Classic, you get Photoshop Express, which I think Photoshop Express might be the one for there's an iPad version for that one. Adobe Firefly, you get 1 terabyte of storage. You're still going to get step-by-step. You're going to get Adobe fonts and stuff like that. Photo management, photo editing, well, it tells you what it's recommended for. Access to the latest features. You get 500 monthly. So there's this thing like generative fill, and it's basically AI. You get 500 credits in this particular Photoshop plan. So it's not that it's a different edition, it's just a different plan. Whereas with this one, you also get 500. There is no Lightroom in this version, which most people don't need Lightroom. If you're not a photographer, I know I saw graphics, was it Digital Graph? What's his name on here? Graphics Digital mentioned about shooting in RAW. That's a lot of people who will use Lightroom for photo editing and things of that nature. So you don't get Lightroom over here. This is just for your regular Photoshop editing and switching stuff up, drawing and painting, graphic designing, compositing, stuff like that. So you get Photoshop, Adobe Fresco. There's no Lightroom here, but you only get 100 gigs of storage space. So it is still more. It is, also, yeah, for video editing. There's more storage than the $9.99, but you don't get Lightroom, but you do get Adobe Fresco. Now, Adobe Fresco, if you have the whole Creative Cloud, you're going to get access to that. So if that's what you mean, me personally, I have the Adobe, I have the Creative Cloud, which I'm recommending this. Let me tell y'all should know, I'm really for the people. I have a whole affiliate link for this, and I always forget when I mention Photoshop. I forget to. Now, if you want to get Photoshop and you hear me saying that I'm forgetting to mention my link, please send me a message so I can send you the link before you sign up for Adobe Cloud. That way your girl get the credit, because I always forget that your girl does have a whole affiliate link, and I'm always recommending stuff. But to let y'all know, I'm here for the people. The affiliate links are cool. It gives you a little pocket change, a little bit of gas money, a little bit of Wawa's money for my frappe, which, I don't mind you guys sending cash apps. I am addicted to Wawa's. Oh, wait a minute. I just remember somebody gave me a Wawa's gift certificate, and I just paid for Wawa's coffee yesterday with my own money. And somebody gave me a Wawa's gift, an e-card. I got to remember that I got that for my birthday. Hold on. And I just might go to Wawa's just for the hell of it. I think I'm going to go to Wawa's today and use the gift card. Wait, it wasn't my birthday. What did I get that for? Because it was for Evan's birthday. But she said I can use it. Because she said he shares me with the world. So it wasn't even for my birthday. It's technically Evan's gift card, but she sent it to me and she said it was for us. So us minus him is going to Wawa's after this to go get a frappe. But if you ever want to give, to the frappe addiction, HS Sync 365 on Cash App. Thanks. Man, I need to learn this software. I am new here. Welcome, Miss Campbell. How art thou? You are in the right place if you really want to learn this software. Like I said, mainly I teach Silhouette Studio, but we end up going into like, because someone asked a question about Photoshop. So yeah, send me a message so that I can get you the link. That way I can receive credit for you signing up for it. Incredible morning. But yes, he's like, I have $10 a month. I don't know nothing about the cloud storage. Well, that's where, like I said, when you save it, if you save it and you see it here, everything here is on your cloud storage. And it's basically stored on Adobe's cloud versus on your computer. And you only have so much. So you have to be careful. Like, it's not about how many files, it's how much data is in each of those files. And we have the refresher for Photoshop. Anyone that signed up for Photoshop, even in the past, I'm doing it exactly the same way that I'm doing Essentials of Silhouette Studio. So if you signed up for it, you can sign up now, watch what's there. We're going to start, and I'm going to actually put the calendar out for that one pretty soon, because February is, well, we're about to hit March. So I think I may still end up doing it in March as well. I was going to wait till the second quarter, but it's only 8 sessions for Photoshop. So I think I'm going to start in March, do it through like April. I think I may do it that way because I have some other things, like when it comes to grad stuff, like it's a lot of other things that kind of like classes I have to put in there. So I think we may end up doing the refresher for Photoshop starting in March, which means I need to put it on my calendar for my assistant. But yeah. But you're definitely in the right place to learn Silhouette Studio. I come on this platform, and this is our segment that my son coined as, "Hey, Professor." This is where you can ask questions. So if you've opened it and you're just basically like, I don't really know anything about this program. Yes, I want to know more. I want to know. Thank you so much for sending the message. I mean, she is serious. She's like, I am interested in Photoshop. That's what I'm talking about. I love people that take action. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so like, it's a little side moment. I don't know, Sandy, if you have watched Who the F Did I Get Married, but I guess, I'm not sure there's like maiden name or like middle name, because it says McCoy. Not sure if you know, like that's that. It just stood out to me. I'm so sorry. Like, I'm not trying to put them folk on you, but it's just that it stood out to me because I haven't actually, when it popped up, I on here, I just looked at the fact that it said Sandy and that was it. But when it popped up on the notification that you sent me a message, it just shows the first part. It didn't show your last name. So McCoy just stood out to me. And I just kind of chuckled inside because I'm like, Lord, McCoy is all over these TikTok and internet streets because of the Who the F Did I Get Married? Who the F Did I marry? But anywho, yeah, back to the subject at hand. This is our Q&A session, guys. I know I kind of went through and I was going through everything that you can do and like, kind of breaking down Photoshop. But this is, at the end of the day, a Q&A session. This is a help session. I am here to guide you through your creative journey. The questions that you have. Let me be your tour guide for this creative journey. Although I am the professor, I am the instructor. At this school right now, I am the instructor. As some people say, I am the dean. I am the guidance counselor. I am the everything, basically, for my students at this point. And let me be your search engine. If you have searched something on YouTube, TikTok, you search for certain hashtags, you're looking for information, you're looking for somebody doing the thing that you have in your mind, and you want to know, like, is this possible? Is this just an idea in my head? How can I do this? Or, man, I saw this really cool technique. Now, not full on designs. I think someone at one point requested, it was like, oh, well, can you create a full design for, it was something with Jamaica. I'm not sure if they wanted like a flyer or invitation. Those take a little bit more thought process, but like if you have like a design element, like something that you saw, I want to know how like something like this is made. Now, if it's like, you want to know like about like a design, I'm just going to take one of my designs and break it apart and just show you how much layering goes into things, and knowing that like there's things that are cropped down and X, Y, and Z. But I'm here to help you, guide you. If you have questions about the design program, about sublimation, printers, business, marketing, all of the things that all the information that you're going to need to have on this creative journey. I am here to be your guide. So I welcome your questions in the chat. Please post your questions in the chat. If there are no questions, this is going to be a very, very boring session outside of the Photoshop information, because I don't necessarily come on to teach unless you're kind of on like if you're joining us over on TikTok, because that's a newer platform for me. So I'm still building audience over there. I'm normally doing live videos and I'm just kind of, quickly going through, but there's also no playback over there. So they have to keep coming back on TikTok because there's no playback. So they have to keep coming back and I have to keep repeating it for it to stick in their head. Over here on Facebook and YouTube, mainly YouTube, we have over 10 years or nearly 10 years of video content, thousands of videos under videos as well as lives on different topics. So you can definitely check that out if you're not interested in joining any of our classes. But we do have dedicated classes over on our website, shop.hsinc365.com. So while I'm waiting for you guys, know that I am here not to just advertise. I'm here to, actually help you. But if you guys don't have any questions, I'm just going to sell my products. I'm just going to sell it to you. I'm letting you know that now. If you don't want me to just simply sell it to you, I suggest you drop a question and you get some help. But if not, we're going to stay on my website and we're going to talk about my products, my classes, my digital products, and all the things. But I want to be able to help you. I want to be able to help you, guide you. So I want you to post your questions in the chat. Do not hesitate. Do not be afraid of it. It's a safe space. And I know a little bit about a lot of it. Okay. The Photoshop class is already there. So it is a essentials. So for that, anything that is essentials is for beginners, because I am breaking down, and in that, so you already have access to, what's there, and then you can go into the refreshers. I break down the tools and functions and really break down the layers panel. When you have to rasterize smart objects, how to fade things off. It's just so many different things, and I don't go through the entire thing because Photoshop has elements for different industries. I focus on the tools and functions that are key to our industry and what we create in this creative or craft space, the tools that you will need and the techniques and information that you're going to need when you are creating designs in Photoshop for your invitations and shirts or templates and blah, 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 blah. Okay. So it's definitely essentials. It's always for beginners and even those who are not beginners and who's never had someone really break down the tools and functions. It's for you as well. Okay. So we're going to take the time to kind of just go through my website real quick. As you can see, we are the home of Honestly Speaking products. We have sublimation paper and sublimation ink. I did put the sublimation paper rolls. You better get them fast. I think I saw cats on here. I know I was supposed to send you guys an email. It's just been really busy and I hadn't got a chance to go back through that Zoom, see who was on that Zoom, and then send you guys an email. But the rolls are on there. Remember, it is limited quantity. They may go fast because it is limited quantity. But the tacky rolls are on there. The fast dry are not on there just yet. Okay. But we are the home of Honestly Speaking sublimation paper and ink. Our paper allows you to sublimate as low as 365 degrees, as fast as 30 seconds. No butcher paper required for most applications, as long as ink is not exposed and to your heat press, like the top platen. You are able to press without a cover sheet. And it's not going to bleed through. Nothing will get on your heat press. I will bet everything on that. Of course, as long as, like I said, if it's not exposed to ink or you haven't cut it down like super, super close, because it gases out. Now, if you have it cut down too close, hey, that's what's going to happen. But that is something we also teach in our sublimation seminar. If you may notice on our website, which I actually, the collection is gone, but I do have to remove all the other stuff. We do not have any products for the 812 printers anymore because it was just we tried to kind of keep up with it, but I just can't deal with the people not taking responsibility. Like, hey, you're converting it. This is what we put this disclaimer out. And even with the disclaimer, people try and do, if we say no, we're not, you can't return it. They try and do chargebacks. I've won every single chargeback because it's clear as day. You understand what you're taking on. No, you can't get your money back. It is what it is. I never guarantee they're going to work on your printer. But I got tired of fighting chargebacks. So 812 is just off the website because as long as Epson keeps changing their firmware, the chips become null and void. So we just don't have time for that. It was a great ride, but you just have to end up maybe just using it as a regular printer. Or, there's a lot of other people who are still going to sell them. You just have to deal with them. I just can't do it. I was burnt out. So you're not going to really see that. Here is Essentials of Silhouette Studio. And this is our full-on step-by-step guide to utilizing Silhouette Studio. You can see here everything that we taught. It was taught over 30 days back in 2022. We are now doing live refresher sessions for this particular course, training program, class, however you want to see it. We are now doing live refreshers. We meet twice a week. We have a study hall session. We have an actual refresher session. This week's refresher session is on Saturday at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. And we are going over edit points. If you are someone that struggles, if you are intimidated by edit points, now is a great time to join. The classes before do not affect edit points. We are going to talk about edit points. No, cropping doesn't matter. Tracing doesn't matter. Text doesn't matter. Line styles, none of that matters. It is going to be about understanding edit points. And we're going to start from the beginning, how they work. We're going to have some practice things that we do, like to turn a circle into a square using edit points, turn a square into a circle using edit points. We're going to play around with them so you understand how the handles and tools work. And then we're going to manually trace so that you see the ins and outs, changing the angles, changing the corner, changing to smooth. You're going to be able to experience all of that in this session on Saturday. If edit points intimidate you, you don't want to miss Saturday. Okay. If you are enrolled and you have not been to some of the live sessions and you're just watching the playbacks, if edit points is a thorn in your side, you don't want to miss Saturday and being live on Saturday. Okay. Man, what's going on? The numbers were up there and now they're just kind of gone over here on TikTok. I don't know what's going on over there. I don't know if I need to probably reset that. And then here we actually have some more. Well, I have more in the vault. Some of them will be exclusive to the vault. Some of them I will bring over here, like more of our paddle ones, like my paddle setups. But we have templates for grad fans. These like some of the classes that are on here. So like stoles for beginners, the one for graduation fans. And then we're going to have, there's one that's going to come up. That's a brand new class. We will have a refresher for this one. And then there is some other classes on like the fans. Yeah. The differences between, so there's actually, I don't know where the other one is. So the vault has a lot of things in it. But this one, there is a grad fan boot camp, and then there's a grad fan like designing. I got to go back through it because one. Okay, yeah. So this is the full one that shows you how to make fans 6 different ways. And it's more so about like the processes for making the fans. And then the one for designing is where I'm really like breaking down design. So I'm probably going to combine the two for the refresher under one. So be on the lookout for that change as well. Hey, Javaya, incredible greetings. Welcome, welcome, welcome in. All right. So that's a little bit on our website. Now I do see a few questions here over on Facebook. What printer do you suggest for regular printing needs that prints larger than 8.5 by 11? Okay. I was always like an Epson girl. I have gone through quite a few printers. I've had a Canon printer, like it was a Canon multipass. So I was a Canon girl before. I really loved my Canon printer, the way that it printed out, but it was dye-based inks. And back then, what I used to have to do is spray, was it Krylon? No. Or American Accents. I think it's like something like that. I used to spray a clear gloss on it because it was dye-based ink. And if dye-based ink gets wet, it will run. So it's drive me nuts because I can't spray it in the house. I used to have to go outside and spray the spray over all of my prints. And I have to leave it out there because you can't just spray it and then bring it back in. If you guys know spray paint, it has a strong scent, right? And if I brought it back in the house, or even if I did it like near the garage, my garage would literally smell like clear gloss spray paint. And it's actually worse than regular spray paint. It will give you a headache. That drove me crazy to know. Actually, no. The multipass was the one that I had when I was in Korea, in Germany. And I used it a little bit when I got home, but I mean, I kind of was still using the spray. But it was more so my brother printer. I love the way that it printed, but the colors just didn't pop for me. And that was before I really researched like really, really good paper. But of course, it would still run. So I used to have to go out there and spray it and spray different coats. And it made the process when I'm doing events and doing party favors and doing centerpieces, it made my process a whole lot longer because I have to spray, I have to let it cure, then I have to spray it again, and then again, let it sit outside before I could bring it in the house to actually do the print and cut. It was a process, which I felt silly because I didn't think about it before. Shakia, girl, you could have just did, and it took me a while to get there. And I think there were some videos where people saw me take the actual print, like the cut prints outside. But I'm not gonna lie, it took me a minute for it to connect. Shakia, if you don't print and cut these issues first and then take these mofos outside, don't judge me. Don't judge me. It took a little minute. And I was like, because I got to a point I was so fed up. I'm like, oh my God, this is taking too long. I used to risk headaches and just bring them in, do the print and cut. Then I was like, you do know you can just, I feel it's like a voice, Shahia. You do know that you can do the print and cut first and then spray it, right? You don't have to spray it first. Oh, yeah. But then I'm in Miami. Our weather is bipolar. It's all, don't laugh at me, Javaya. Okay. My weather is, our weather here is bipolar as all get out. Okay. I mean, completely bipolar. So it will rain, be sunny. And if you could have seen our Vivid, no, we didn't have, we didn't have Vivid back then. We had Comcast, their security system. And I remember we had a door. I don't know, did Comcast have a doorbell camera? I don't remember. I know we got one, we got Vivid, but if we did, if you could have seen the way I used to run outside, and I'm like, even, is that rain? I would dart outside and I'm freaking out because they can't get wet. Like they are not cured. I mean, it's just like the way I used to run at the sign, at the smell of rain, I was like, OMG, I got tired of that. I could not do it anymore. I could not do it anymore. I could not do it anymore. I researched printers. This is when I really got an obsession for printers. Came across Epson printers. So I said all that too, because trust me, it's a point to it. I am an Epson girl. because of the fact that the Epson printers that I was using, they use what's called pigment ink. Hold on, y'all. My phone is going. I'm like, I forgot to charge this one up last night. Hold on, I gotta grab my charger. Okay. So I am an Epson girl because of the pigment ink. What pigment ink is it's just like regular ink. You know, all these printers are inkjet. If you don't know, Sublimation's inkjet, EcoSolvent, like your rolling printer, all those are still inkjet printers. Sawgrass, inkjet printers. But its difference is in ink. Pigment ink is water resistant. If it gets wet, it will not run. Now the paper can, depending on the type of paper you're using, it can warp and stuff like that, but the ink does not run with pigment inks. So that was more important to me than certain colors. There is a difference in color gamut, and that just means the range of colors that a printer can print out. And even though both printers are like for me, like basic printers are still CMYK, right? They have a black, cyan, magenta, yellow. That's it. Dye inks, because of how they're made, if you look at them, they're very dark. The yellow looks like orange food coloring. They can pick up a different color gamut just with CMYK than pigment ink can. For pigment ink to pick up the same color ranges as a dye base, you need those printers that have like light magenta, light cyan. There's some printers that have reds and things like that. You have some of the large printers that have specific colors like oranges and greens and red. Like they have inks for those colors. Most crafters only know of CMYK because that's all people talk about, right? And which is so funny to me. It's like, oh, well, you should design it in CMYK because that's our printer. I'm like, y'all must not realize that I chuckle when I see people who talk about like printing and they bring that up. And I'm like, yeah, see, you're just used to regular printers, because there are printers that literally have other colors. Like it's the full color range. It's not just CMYK. So hush up. But just so you have to have the pigment ink ones that have those different color ranges to pick up some of those same, like in the same way that like a dye base. So this is why some people's like, oh, well, my HP, or y'all remember, like it was real big, the Lexmark. The cartridges were really expensive, but people liked the way the colors came out, especially with things like Minnie Mouse and Mickey Mouse and stuff like that, because it was dye-based ink and it just looked different. And it was like, oh, but I use my Epson, it doesn't look like this. But if I use this printer, it's because of the inks. I start trying to explain that to them. You have to decide what is most important for you. You have to decide what is most important for you and your needs. I can give you a couple suggestions on printers. I don't know what price range you're trying to stay within. If you have a specific price range that you want me to show you printers within, if you can type that, that would be great, because I might show your printer, because you're asking me what printers do I suggest. The printers that I'm going to suggest may be outside of your price range, the ones that I'm going to recommend. So if you have a budget that you want me to be respectful of and what I show you, and like, not kind of show you the world, and you're like, man, I can't afford that. Like, why'd you show me that? Let me know the budget you're trying to stay within, and then I can let you know what your options are. Do know that most of them are not going to be under, like just for the print itself, not including ink, it's not going to be under like $400. So answer that, and then I'm going to come back to like the printer stuff. I just had to give like that kind of like little background, a little disclaimer that there are differences in inks. Have you used the AI and do you and do what is your likes and if I did so I'm not big on AI as far as designs and like how people are doing designs. My mom loves AI. That's just not my thing. Um Most times people are doing AIs because they don't really know how to like put together certain like backgrounds and like designs and things like that. So I'm not big on AI. However, I have used AI for my backgrounds and for certain elements for obituaries. But I don't just kind of like create like some people use it and they're creating like, characters or like models and stuff like that. I don't use it for that. I'm not really, I know some people are using it to turn like a regular picture into like a professional headshot. I'm one of the ones. I'm just gonna go take. If I need headshots, I'm gonna go have someone make headshots for me. Although people's like, well, that makes us. It just airbrushes your face too much. It's just not for me totally and completely. Now AI for copy for text based and things like that. Oh, honey, I absolutely love it. I use it every single day. I am on one of my chat G. I have 3 different chat type AIs. I'm on those suckers every single day. There is like AIs like for like videos and stuff. Now I have another program like for videos and things that can technically make an e-guide off of like questions or like not an e-guide, like the things that I click on my screen. I'm testing that one out. That type of AI, baby, I am here for it where it makes my life more efficient. It makes things easier. But just creating designs or just like images, that's not something that's very useful for me at this point in what I'm doing. Those are not useful for me. Um, yes, we had a sublimation seminar. It's on our website. This is the one I need, and we'll have to watch the playback. I have to get all 4 of your wisdom teeth pulled. Oh my gosh. Lord, grandma pray for you. I'm about to call you, girl. What questions can we ask during this time? Just about anything. What gloss paper do you recommend for pigment ink paper? My black smears. Okay, so that has nothing to do with your gloss paper. That has everything to do with the 7840. So this is where like that whole printer thing comes into play. The 7840, which is, I'm going to bring this up on screen. Epson Workforce 7840. Just so that you guys have a visual of what printer I'm referring to. So this is the new printer, the new Workforce printers. Can they technically be converted to sublimation? Yes, if you find somebody, not HS Ink, that's going to sell you the 812 cartridges and chips. Now you kind of missed the window because we were set, like when you still can get our pigment ink, but you're going to have to get your black cartridge from somewhere else and your chips. So it has nothing to do with the paper that you are using. I can recommend the paper that I'm using, but it's not going to matter when it comes to this printer, as well as the 7820, which is the smaller version, which is the 1 tray of this, and also the 7310. With these particular prints, I have no idea what in the HE double hockey sticks Epson was thinking, but their black ink in these printers smears. It does not stick to glossy. You can literally scrape it off. And on regular paper, you take your finger and you happen to swipe it, it is going to smear. And it doesn't happen with all the other colors. I have no idea why, but the black ink that they are using in those cartridges absolutely sucks. Now, when we were selling 812 cartridges, we had several people who would use our pigment ink because our pigment ink doesn't do that. And they would put it inside of the refillable cartridges, and they were pretty much just using it for the black ink and nothing else. And they didn't have a problem using the other Epson inks because, not wanting to deal with, okay, this chip works, this chip doesn't work, blah, 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 blah. If we were to bring back anything, I probably would just focus on the black cartridge because I just don't want to deal with all the other ones for the pigment ink, because that is a major issue. That is something where you really need to have a third-party cartridge. because their ink doesn't matter which paper, it sucks. So I can tell you what paper I use, but that's not going to help you it's not going to help you at all because you're still going to have that issue. All right. So 500 or less. There is no Epson printer that is 500 or less, other than, as you can see here, the workforce printers, which you're going to have an issue with your black ink. Okay. So workforces are the only ones that are within that range, but do know you're going to have an issue with your black ink. Once you go into EcoTank printers, you do have the 15,000, the 8550. So right now, this is $499. Can you get it? Sure. I personally don't recommend it because I'm not a dye-based person. Dye-based ink runs. And I also just don't like 15,000. And after yesterday, we were on TikTok and we were going through some things like specifications, and the fact that there are no specifications for the 15,000, it's real suspect to me. Like when you go to Epson's website, like every other printer, you can click on it, you can get specific like specifications, or you can download a PDF. There is none for the 15,000 on Epson's website. And that was real suspect to me. Very, very suspect. And I've never liked the 15,000, but that's kind of within your price range right now. They also have the 8550. You can see that's outside of the $500 or less. It's also a dye-based printer. So I did kind of go through that. Craftastic tips. I went through this whole little spiel in the beginning about, the two for me. So with this one, all of the inks are dye-based except for the photo black, which does help it a little bit to not smear. Okay. It does help it a little bit to not smear. And I've had people who have this one and use the actual Epson ink, and I've had them wet it, and it doesn't necessarily run, but it seems like to me the edges do kind of blur out just a little bit, but not a whole lot. So it's like, it's okay. It's a photo-based printer, but all of the main inks, the cyan, magenta, yellow, the regular black, and the gray are dye-based ink, but there is a photo black ink with it, but certain colors, you don't need black. It's going to make it too dark. So know that when you're printing like that, you take the risk of it running. I don't have one of these personally to where I have tested it. I've only known people who had them. And, I told them, hey, can you print this out for me? And then put it underwater. So yeah, you have that option. I'm not big on HP printers. I've never really liked HPs. Oh, wait. Now, pigment ink version of an Epson printer is the 16600 or 16650. Brace yourself. We're talking $1,000, in which it's normally $1,100. They actually went down $100. Well, it's $1,000, and then the 16650 is, or maybe it was 1,000, and this one is, this one is 1,030. So I think I said last month at 1,113, maybe not. So it's $1,000 or $1,030 for the 16650. It used to be almost $100 difference from one to the other. And I'm like, that's not even worth it. Just because it prints slightly faster. So these two are EcoTank printers. They use pigment ink. That pigment ink doesn't flake off like the 85, like the Workforce 7820, 7840. So it's pretty decent. And let's say if you want to be on the safe side, you could use our black pigment ink, in there. You could use our pigment ink as well if you didn't want to use theirs. Ours is 140 milliliters. Do know that there will be a slight difference in color because, of course, it's not an exact formulation for it. Okay. Hello. She said, listen, my 7210 and my 7720 are loyal. For me too. I still have my Epson 7720, 7710. I am so grateful that I got into this when those printers were still around, because I don't know what I would do. I would lose my mind. But I do have a Roland. So mine for regular printers, the next one would be like a Roland, which is the eco-solvent printer. You can use that for regular prints, but it does take a long time. That's in the $2,000 range. I'm sorry, not $2,000, $6,000 range. So that one's a bit pricey. Okay. Now you do have $2,000, which is like, there's an Epson. It looks like the F570, but it's a regular printer. I'm not big on HP, so I'm not going to kind of show that. But you have, to be honest, I've never really had, like, because y'all don't communicate with me, I don't know who is what is it you guys are trying to do. So I don't ever really recommend this. But I have a few people who I talk to on a regular. They know how Canon printers have me in a whole chokehold, baby. I love me a good Canon. It is, most of them are dye-based inks. So it's always kind of a, I'd be in a tussle. But they do have some pigment ink ones, but they are not, they ain't cheap, okay? They're not cheap. They just not. I'm just letting you know. This ain't even the one I really, really want. The one I really, really want, your jaw will probably drop at the price of it. But you have this one, which is $849. When it comes to, hold on, I'm gonna go back. Not that part. I don't want to go to that. Get off of here. I want to go to, I should have just went to their website instead of coming over here, because I don't know if they put a lot of like information. Oh, I think this one is wide format, but yeah. So I think the Expressions photo printer might be 11. I think this one might be wide format, but it uses 6 different inks. So this is $299. But it's cartridges, so you have to get those, and it's 6 different inks. So you can get that one. I will say that. I forgot about that one. Glad I did see this on here. All right, I gotta go. Let's go to, let's go here. So yeah, 13 inches. This one has it has, panorama printing, borderless printing. It is $849 most places. Okay. It's 10 different inks. This is the part that you move like, Professor, keep it moving, shout it. Ain't nobody got time for that. So it is, and this is where I'm like, when people get stuck on CMYK, it's a whole world bigger than CMYK. All right. Okay, wait. I want to go to so you have matte black, magenta, light magenta, cyan, light cyan, yellow, gray, red, photo black, and then there is a chrome. I mean, it's like a finish over it, which will chroma optimizer, which will, like, they tell you like the features and stuff of it. So there's a lot to this. I'm trying to find why is it not on? I could have sworn it was under accessories. Hold on. Is it? Maybe not. That's the photo paper. Okay, wait. I'm trying to find. Is it under support? Okay, no. I'm like, I knew it was under accessories. Okay, so it's not bad when you're like this. Okay, it's $12.99. Some of them on back order. $12.99 per cartridge. But there's cartridge bases. depending on how you're printing and stuff like that. It's when you look at all of them together, it's $122 for the full set. Okay. So it seems kind of cute. The $12.99 is kind of cute. How be ever. Them cuteness add up. So you can see here for the full 10 ink sets is $122.99. Okay. And it's a cartridge. It's not these mega cartridges. It's not the high volume cartridges. So you might get kind of upset when you print, and depending on what size you're printing and how long they last, just know that a full set is $122.99. I'm just letting you know. Okay. But theybomb.com. All right. That's just so you know. I want to get that disclaimer. Real nice printer. Now, the one that I want is downright diabolical. Okay. Oh, wait, you know what? Okay, hold on. I'm going to this is the one I want. Okay. This is the one I want. It's $1,200. This is the one that I absolutely am in love with. Might be because I also like Canon cameras. And yeah, it's a whole lot of. This is really kind of what gets me. Like, and when they talk about when people say advertise and you have to attack or talk to people's pain points, being the fact that we deal with it like this right here, when I like the anti-clogging, and my very, very first like actual printer was a Canon multi-pass printer. It was like an all-in-one, the ink droplets. That's like I'm learning about like ink droplets, how they affect like your colors. I loved my Canon multi-pass printer. And when it broke, I was so heartbroken. Well, the second time, because the first time they would get it fixed, they actually have maintenance people that can fix them. The second time it broke, I was just so heartbroken. But the anti-clogging part of it is what drew me in. Like the fact that they are putting that to the forefront was very, very like, okay, I need this in my life. So yeah, like it's like check with sensors. So things like that to me makes the printer worthwhile. It makes it worth the price when you're paying for it. It's not just a printer. If you needed just a printer, then there's other options. But when you and see these cartridges, it's 7. Okay, 7 colors plus the Chroma Optimizer ink system. So it's a whole lot of going on. It's a whole lot of goings on. And so see, this is what I'm saying. Like I'm telling you, when you take the time to read through websites and you start to understand color gamut, if you look at videos about color gamut and they're showing you this thing and like the ranges that it picks up on, you understand why like certain printers, the value or the price of it, like it's worth it to me because I'm looking for those things. If you don't know anything and you're just like, I just want to print some chip bags, I just want to print out some stickers, this ain't, if people who are photographers, they're looking for a certain quality, this is going to be worth it for them. You have to also remember that this printer, although it's wide format, it's more so like for photographers, if they're printing out like certain pictures for their clients, a lot of times it's not like this mega like package, and it's more so like for photographers. And so their print yield is based a lot on photo sizes. So photo sizes are not your typical 8.5 by 11, 11 by 17, 13 by 19, stuff like that. It's like your 8 by 10s, 5 by 7s. There's 13 by 19 and like 12. So that's kind of what their yields are based on, in that this is a photo printer, which is very appealing to photographers. And since, I like to pretend like I'm a photographer, sometimes this is one of the ones that just spoke to my heart. Like, I just love me a Canon printer. And so, y'all know if I'm saying so, it's about to be some mess, right? It's about to be some mess. Oh gosh, where are you? Okay, wait, no, let's go over here to no, that's not the one I want. Support. Is it under support? Where is it? Okay, I'm just gonna do it like this. There we go. I don't know if y'all can see that over on TikTok. I know y'all can see it on Facebook and YouTube. But it's pigment. Y'all know how I feel about pigment ink printers. So the fact that I'm getting a photo printer. It has a wide color gamut because we have cyan, we have light magenta, light cyan, it's red, they got gray, they got blue. I'm gonna zoom in. Wait, y'all can't even see the price. Hold on. Let me scoot it over so y'all can see the price of these inks. I'm just saying, but and they little cartridges. they little. They little. They only 80 mil, but it's worth it. So when people ask, I haven't really said it because I don't know if my audience is ready for this type of stuff, but for Shakia, I'm just letting you know, this is the next printer that Shakia is getting. I can't speak for y'all. So y'all asking what do I recommend when y'all see me printing out stuff, just know if you are here today on February 22nd, 2024, if you see, in the near future and you see some printouts and folks are saying, "Oh, what printer that is?" Just telling people, mind your business. Y'all might not be ready for it because, baby, I'm just letting you know. This is the next printer that I will get. I don't think I'm even going to wait for my 7720 to go out, because if they're going to be anything like Epson and around here raising the prices, this printer already cost $1,300. So yeah. But I will have this one before grad season. I'm just letting you know that. All right. Hold on one second. Hello. Okay, same exact message I just got before. All right. So yeah, this is kind of what I'm on when it comes to printers. Now, went through all of that. Now you do with that what you will. It will be a Canon. This is a tank-based printer, which isn't bad. It is 1,000. It actually is a large format. So it is 24 inches wide. Okay. It is an inkjet based printer. This is another one that I have considered, but I like the fact that the other one comes with blue ink and red ink and all the other kind of good jazz. But you can get this one. Typically, like the ones that you will get in the store, they are dye-based printers. This is a pigment ink printer. So see, 4 bottles of pigment ink. The other Canons that you will find in store are dye-based. I don't think I've ever seen a Canon I don't think I've ever seen any of like the smaller ones, like these that are pigment ink printers. They are all dye-based printers. So you have like the mega ink one, but I think this is just only 8.5 inches as well. And these are all dye-based printers. I don't think I've found in my research, I don't think I've found one that is a pigment ink printer. And I have some Canons that are dye, like I have the dye basing this. I know they're dye based because I was going to try and use it for who do people call? I was going to try and use it for Eco Solvent ink, but it just didn't work out. Yeah, I don't think that they have one that's wide format that's pigment ink. All of them are dye-based inks, except for when you get into the one that's $1,000. But that's my ink, you know, my printers, because y'all know I'm a printer geek. So that's where I'm at as far as like printers. I don't know if it is in your price range, but you asked what I suggest. These are the printers that I would suggest. Not sure if this was helpful for you or not, but it is what it is. That's what we were answering now. I'm not married to that budget. If I need more to get something better, that's what I have at the moment. Okay, cool beans. I still like my 7720, just wish it was faster and printed wider. I mean, what, wider than 13 inches? I mean, you get wider than 13 inches, then you have to go to 24 inches. And then that's when you're in like the $1,000 range. Is this the same issue with black ink smearing? No, the 7710, their ink does not smear. The 7720's ink, if you get, like, especially if you get ours, like we still, like you can get the 252s, ours doesn't. But even if you buy Epson's actual cartridges, they don't smear, which is why I don't understand why they changed the ink inside of their cartridges. What is the name of the printer that is 1,300? My print is too small on my phone. That was the Image Pro Graph 1000. Image Pro Graph 1000 is what that particular one is. Hey, Hans. It's Shanita Nicole from Do Dream On if you do. And if you're already a dreamer, welcome back, y'all. That's my girl right there, y'all. How are you, honey bump? So yeah. Let's see. I considered this one too. Because it didn't print borderless. So to be honest, you know what's crazy? I don't like borderless printing because borderless printing is not truly borderless printing. When you print borderless, like let's say you like, especially if you have something specific that you want there, it will just expand it. And also with borderless printing, you take a higher risk of getting ink inside your printer. Like if it's off just a little bit, no, not this one. So she's talking about this one. That's $1,000. So if it's off like just a little bit, or let's say like your paper shifts, you take the chance of getting ink inside your printer. So I'm not always a big fan of borderless printing. And I also know, like for me, so I like paper cutters too. There is a large format paper cutter that I want. And I guess why I'm not so concerned about borderless is in me researching owning a print shop, right? So that, because that's literally my ultimate dream. That was always my ultimate goal, not to be a designer and to have a print shop, meaning the folk that I teach to design and other people will have their designs. They're going to submit them to us. We're going to be your supplier for printing out. Like that's always been my dream. And when you look at any print shop, you go to look at videos, look and research for any print shop. Not one. If you can find one that is doing full on edge to edge printing and it's just that, well, let me see. I don't think even with the offset printing, almost every last one of them, they print in the middle and they're going to an industrial paper cutter and they are trimming it down. So I had that when I was in school. So I never had this obsession with borderless printing. I never really cared about that because everything that I've always seen when it comes to borderless printing has been a print in the middle and you have what's called crop marks. Like I learned to design with crop marks, business cards, flyers, brochures, booklets, obituaries, everything that I have learned, everything that I have done when I've been in print shops, when I've watched videos, none of them are printing borderless. It is always, slide the camera over. What you want to go, what, this way or this way? Hold on, let me pull it back. Maybe you can see it. That, are you looking for the name? Hold on. I don't think the name is showing on here. I'll go up. There we go. So this is the one. This is the TC. Oh, let me just say the names. So this is the TC 20M multifunction large format printer. That's the one that's $9.95. My bad, girl. My bad. This has, and the reason why, now this right here, what I will say about Epson, scanners, top tier. If my 7720 printer goes out, but the scanner still works, baby, it's gonna be in somebody's corner because Epson scanner is really top tier. Now, I don't know what they thought somebody was gonna do with this little bitty scanner on this big old printer, but okay. But it is a multifunction printer, and it has this little baby scanner. Okay. But yeah, I've just never been like super obsessed with borderless printing because of what I've always experienced when it came to what I know to be borderless printing. It's always crop marks and they're going to crop it down. I am incredible. If I haven't printed in a while with my 7720, is that why I'm getting breaks in my black? Yes. And what you're going to do is go to our YouTube channel and so I'll go to Honestly Speaking's YouTube channel, or on YouTube search Honestly Speaking Push Air, and it might be in our link tree as well to go directly to it. You're going to see a video about push air. Now, this only works if you have refillable cartridges. If you don't have refillable cartridges, then, because I'm not sure if you're using that as a sublimation printer or as a regular printer, but if you don't have refillable cartridges, you have to get it in order for this to kind of work. Or, I mean, you can get just the hose and put it directly to the print head peg and push it, but you have to do what's called like push air, or like it's like pushing ink or fluid through it to clear out any clog. I'll make a post, guys, of these printers so that you can see all of them. So if if you're always just used to seeing Epson printers and people just keep talking about Epson, I didn't know that y'all wanted to be printer geeks like me to know about what's on the other side of the world when it comes to Canons, but they bomb.com. Like, I have been obsessed with Canon printers for a really long time. but I'll ever see, in my world, people only talk about Epsons. And sometimes, y'all know how I feel. Like, I feel like when I talk about things that's opposite of what is the industry standard, I get drowned out. It's like, John, please, am I thinking about that? So yeah. You have yeah, I think I printed edge to edge like maybe a few times on my 7720 because of like projects for MJ, but I'm not big on printing edge to edge. I'm always trimming down. Like even for banners, it's not that it's necessarily trimmed down, but when you have like the banners, you end up leaving extra so that you can put your hem tape and you're basically folding it over and creating that thicker edge. So everything that I do within the print industry, I'm always cutting it down. For my posters, for my yard signs, I put it on there, but I cut into it. I trim it down. So yeah, I've just never been a edge to edge kind of gal. You are very welcome. All right. Any other questions? This one's pretty good. We talked about Photoshop. We talked about printers. I have a Canon small format for my household to use. Yeah, we had one too. But I like I said, I end up getting rid of that one. But is the one in your household, is that a dye based one? She was like, mine is only 55 milliliters for the printer I have. Oh yeah. Yeah, they got the Rainbow Coalition going on over there, Javaya. Like, I love it. Like the fact they have red, blue, but it's the color gamut on it is just amazing. Can you do sublimation with Canons? I don't believe that they're heat free, even with the pigment ink. I don't. So the whole thing is, now that's one that I did not. I don't think they are. Let me tell you why I don't think that they are heat free. If you ever look at like an Epson, oh man, when I go to the office, if you guys have never looked at your print head, I will show it to you. And it just looks like gold. Let me see. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Let me see. Epson print head. So that don't look like a true print head though. That looks like a digital rendering. That looks weird. I don't want to do that one. Okay, but let me go to nope, not that one. Is it this one? Okay. This looks like a digital rendering too, don't like the real one because it has colors in it. I don't know. It might be the real one, but I've never read that there's heat-free technology. Now I think that's probably the one thing that I did not. I don't know if like I don't think I ever really went to look for it, but I also don't ever remember seeing it. Most times you're going to see that it'll say something like um um it'll say something like heat free. I don't ever remember seeing anything that says heat free when it comes to these. Even though it's pigment ink, it's not anything that says heat free. So it would not be ideal for sublimation. For sublimation, it has to be a heat-free print head, which is piezoelectric, and that is normally in Epson's and Brother printers. Canons and HPs are usually, no matter what type of printer it is, they have heated, like their print head technology is heated. And the reason why I was trying to show the print heads, like this one looks like it might be computer generated, but if you look at like, man, I should go get my Canon one. But if you look at the print heads, you normally see like which color is which. Like you're seeing the colors on the bottom of the print heads. Because even the Canon that I have in there, because like it's like even though it's an eco tank printer or a tank printer, it's still like a little cartridge that you have to feed it into, and you can see the color channels. When you look at an Epson print head, you don't see any colors. Like it's almost like a glass. I don't say it's not a glass plate, but it's like a plate. So you don't see colors on it. So that's kind of why I don't think that even with that one, that like, because even if it's a pigment ink, it is still a thermal head because you can see the ink. On Epson ones, even when ink comes through here, you can probably see like the color on like the edges coming out. But in this space, you're never going to see that filled with color. Make sense? So Canon Pixmas are decent, just regular home-based one, but they are a dye-based printer. I'm not really a dye-based kind of gal. I like pigment ink printers. And on my hunt for pigment ink printers, it was like Epson at the time. It was Epson's, and then there were certain HP office jets. But I don't really do HP printers because I don't like HP computers. I'm just not an HP kind of gal. But I got a Canon camera. So I am definitely just so y'all know, I know Facebook can't see it, but I'm about to show TikTok. I don't play. I got a whole, and I'm about to get a new one. I don't play about Canon. Like I love the cameras, and I'm about to get, because I want to get back serious, not even just like for my photography. It's more so for like video content for the business. Like I'm just laser focused now. And that's why I do want, I want the printer for a couple of different things, but just so y'all know, I ain't capping. I've been researching Canon for a long time. This is my camera. It was between this and a Nikon, and I'm like, no, I love my Canons. So yeah. This one is, this is the Rebel. This is the Rebel T6i. I learned to shoot in manual. I have, so you see, this is not the kit lens. So I have like 4 different lenses. I spent good money on lenses. She said, please don't get her started, y'all. Look, I don't think y'all know one side of me. Y'all don't know the tech that I have. And I'm obsessed with printers. I'm obsessed with cameras. I have a bunch of different lenses. The lens that comes on a standard, like that is a garbage. It's called a kick lens. So I have lenses for zooming in. I have lenses for I feel like a whole paparazzi in these streets. I be telling y'all, I know a little bit about a lot of it. Like your girl is sweet with the camera now. I think I have a printer obsession too. Yeah, see, I told you, you and I, we are one and the same. We are the same person, same people in different bodies. And the fact, see, and look, Javaya, we just discovered something else we have in common. I'm gonna need you to use your Canon though. I'm gonna need you to use your Rebel, boo. Wait a minute, Javaya, I just realized something. You just sat here and talked to me about not being able to take pictures because all you had was an iPhone and you sitting on a Canon. Now, that little kick lens that you have, if you have just the regular lens, it ain't going to do too much for you. It's certain lenses that you can get, not going to be too expensive. PJ, please, if you ever hear this, I'm sorry. If your wife come to you asking you about Canon lens for this Rebel, my bad, bruh. But wait a minute, ma'am. You ain't say nothing about having a Canon. I'm about to fly to Jersey and beat you. Are you? Oh, we finna have another conversation, ma'am. Oh, we are about to have another conversation. We are about to have another conversation. Yes. Yes, we are. This lesson came in time. I've been looking for a new printer. I was looking for an EcoTank, but could not find one that was pigment. So yeah, the only EcoTank printer that is pigment ink is the 16600 and 16650 printers. So Epson ET 16600 or 16650, they are pigment. Now, if we create a community, now if I got to create another group for Canon users, oh, see, y'all gonna be my best friends. Like if I got to create a group for Canon printer users, hey, because my girl Javaya got one and she was like, there wasn't enough content. Now we have to, if we got to start a group for these Canon printers, she says, create that group today. You gonna run it with me, Javaya? Now, because they don't tell me that, because I will go run this credit card today. I was trying to wait because that's what I'm gonna end up doing a lot of my I can use my who do people call? I can use my Roland, but if I'm printing yard signs, I can't use my Roland to print my yard signs because we know that thing prints slow, but I have to have a printer. And although I like my Epson, I just, going from the Roland and then I use that one and yeah, I just want my Canon one. So I'm getting that one to, for grad season so that I can just focus on printing out my yard signs on the Roland printer. So if I got to start this group for Canon, yes, God. All right, don't tell me we're going to have a group of Canon. Now, look, y'all got to have a Canon to come in. Tips, I don't know how, wait, you have a Sony, Shawnee Getta. You have a Sony too? Shawnee, get her. Get her. Oh my gosh. She says, go ahead. I'm buying one too. Okay. We better start a Canon revolution. What did I miss? Oh Lord, I don't started something about this Canon printer. Someone asked a question about printers. I went through the typical stuff like your Epson printers. I don't use HPs, so I cannot recommend any of those. My next print, I like Epson, but to be honest, outside of the F570 and probably my 44-inch Sublimation printer, they own some other stuff right about now. So I show the printers that are on my bucket list and my wish list. Well, I don't see bucket list. They're on the short list. They're gonna be here. And they just so happen to be Canon printers. So I'll just go through them real quick. If you are budget conscious, there is this is not really the budget conscious one, but there is the 300, which is $849. The cartridges are reasonable. They're only $12.99. And it's a 10 ink system. Well, really 9 colors, and then the chroma optimizer. Then you have the Image Prograph TC20M, which is $9.95, but that is a 24-inch printer, and it is it's like a tank. It's tank based. The other one that we show, okay, and Yeah. And then the other one is the Image Pro 1000, which is 13, well, 12, it's not even $1,300. So I'm saving you $50. It's actually $1,249. Where is that one? That's this one. It has 10 inks plus the chroma optimizer. The inks for this are they're $55, $60 for the inks for this. And then the one that you have, Javaya, is you have, let me see, large format printers. Did you get this one? Oh, wait, is there mega printer pigment? Because this color over here definitely is giving very much so pigment. Wait a minute, where you come from? Is that the one? Do you have this one, the TC? Did you get the TC20? Oh, you got the TM240. Okay. So this one is $6.99. It's a 24-inch printer, so it's less than the $9.95 one that is an Eco Tank. So this is $6.99, but oh no, this is a tank as well. So you can get this. So this is a good one. It's 24 inches as well. It is $6.99. It's 4-color bottle system, 24-inch roll, and unlike the Roland, it does cut. No, this one doesn't cut. Is it cut? But you can't put the cut sheet. It's a cut sheet feeder. Automatic sheet feeder, and then it's 70 milliliters for the ink tanks. And yeah, so you have this one, and let's see, that one's a little bit less than the. It's just the only difference is this one has a little itty bitty scanner. This one doesn't. So if you don't need a scanner, ain't no sense in paying $1,000 because it's going to be exactly the same printer. This is just a multi-function printer. This is just the regular printer, and so it is $6.99. Because I think I did say that. I like my Epson one, and I may just get this one because it's literally the same. The only difference is the scanner, and nobody need that little itty bitty scanner anyway. So Shawnee, we can get this one, which is, that one is retired. Well, this one say add to cart. It say in stock. Oh, TA20. No, this one is, it says in stock. This is the TC20. And so here are the Pixma Pro. So you said, I think someone, I'm not sure if you're talking, they said the Pro one that they've used, but there's this one. This one is dye-based ink. It's not pigment ink when it comes to this one. So see, with 8-color dye-based ink system, including 2 monochrome inks, black and light gray. So that's what this one has, but it's dye-based inks, which means it can run. And that is a 13-inch wide printer. That one is $4.99. Oh, the TA is retired. Okay, yeah. I'm going to order today when I get home. Yeah, so, all right. So I may have to start that group. All right. Okay. But yeah, so that's what we were talking about with these particular printers. I never saw one that wasn't, oh wait, I want to go back to the mega tanks because, but yeah, this is going to be an 8.5-inch wide. Yeah, I'm like, maybe that's why I didn't look for, I'm not in the market for any more 8.5-inch wide ones. So I didn't bother to look into these. And I still can't tell if it's pigment ink or not. Hold on. Because it just says Mega Tanks. It's pigment ink. Ooh. It is pigment ink, but it's only 8.5 inches wide. Let me see. Do they have any wide format Mega Tanks? I don't think I've ever seen any of the Mega Tanks in wide format. I have this one, but I tried to use it for EcoSolve. I actually have two of them, but I tried to use it for EcoSolvent, so it don't really work right now. But I'm going to probably put the Canon ink back in it just so that you guys can see how that one prints. But yeah, I don't think I've ever seen any of these. They're not wide format. They're all, so this one is also pigment ink. I guess you can tell the difference. The bottles that are like this that have, that's so interesting. That's how I do my sublimate. Look, okay, look, I might need to holler at Canon. So let me tell you what's so funny about this. If you look, my sublimation ink is solid. My pigment ink is like it's like the same bottle, but it's like open. And that's what they do. That's how you'll tell their pigment ink printers from their dye-based printers. The dye-based printers, the bottle part, like at the bottom, is solid. And all of their pigment ink printers, it's like a strip of color. So if you're ever wondering if a Canon printer is dye-based or pigment ink, all of their dye-based, it's solid colors. All of the bottles for their pigment ink has a stripe. It's just a single stripe. I have a Canon camera that just sits in the bag. We cannot be doing that. So is this going to be a group for Canon printer users and Canon camera users? Because we cannot have Canon printers just sitting in the bag, y'all. We can't have that. He said, okay, Canon. A lot to unpack in understanding the differences of printers. It really is. And y'all know I geek out about printers. I am a printer geek. Y'all know, like, I will talk to y'all forever and a day about printers, colors, color management, color profiles, calibrating your monitor to your print. I can literally talk about print. I could leave y'all on the design part for Silhouette, and I could literally start a platform talking about printers, printer inks, management, color correction, monitors, and I would leave y'all, and I could not do both, but I literally could start a whole platform talking about printers. So doing some testing on my F570 again. The fast dry sheet still leaves the pizza wheels, just so you know. I know you're talking about little on Facebook. So man, I want good paper in this thing. I don't know. Like I don't know why. I'll try and make a post again, and they can see, like, they can help you as far as like settings. But we have several people that use it, and they haven't really expressed anything to me as far as pinwheels. I'm thinking about selling my 7820. I want a tank system printer. So I just showed you the Canon ones that are tank based. Sorry, I had to step away. What is the Canon printer for? These are all regular printers. So they're dye-based pigment. So it's not sublimation. Can you use it for shirts if you're going to print to like Jet Pro 3G, who those folks is, Caesar, DTV, stuff like that. But it's a regular printer. If you're doing stickers, if you're doing labels, tags, posters, things like that, you'll be able to use with the Canon printer. Hello from Michigan. All right. Can you discuss the differences between, hold on, I can't see it right there. I got to bring it up to the top. Can you discuss the differences between cartridge and tanks regarding to how many prints it yields? I think a lot of people are confused, thinking you can print more than tanks. Oh, okay. So, all right. For the most part, most of these printers kind of sort of are the same. Like the print resolution plays a big part in how much you can actually print. And it's not just a matter of like cartridge based versus ink, like just tanks. Then like more so it's about I'll go through and I'll do the video and y'all know I'm about specs. So I will go through like full on specs for each one, where it's about like this print resolution is 4800 by 24, right? So if we go here, print resolution is 24 by 1200. It's a big difference, right? Don't get me wrong. Like y'all know that I told y'all I'll pay $60 for those cartridges because I'm going to get more out of it. Ink tank based printers make it to where you don't have to think about it. You can physically see your level. If it's low, you know to put more ink in it. Even though like as I said, that's why like I will do another video so you can see, like especially people on YouTube and Facebook, so you guys can see it. Even though I don't use my Canon printer, I can show you that even though it's a tank-based printer, there's still these little cartridges on the inside. Nothing is going like straight from the tank, and people think about tanks and just going there. It's still little cartridges. It's still chips on it. It still reads like it's just a different technology. And almost every single tank printer, these specs are going to be slightly lower than a cartridge-based printer. Okay. So let's go over to like this, of course, is a photo-based printer, but so well, this particular one would be the same as this one would be the same as the EcoTank one. It has 24 by 1200 DPI in color and black for this one, but it also has 11 colors. Like, I mean, it has 11 colors. Whereas this one is this is the tank one, and I think this one is 12. This is also 24 by 1200. Then you have this one, which was, this is also dye-based too. So this one is 48 by 24. Then you have the 300, which is 48. Now, this is the one that I was like, I mean, this is a cartridge-based one. This is the one where the cartridges are only, I think this one, the cartridge is like $12 or something like that or whatever. But if you look at this one and you see it's with the camera, it's meant to give you great quality. So this one, as a cartridge-based printer, is 48 by 24 DPI. Most times, other than like the 1000, most times your cartridge-based printers have a higher resolution than like its exact EcoTank counterpart when you're comparing apples to apples, oranges to oranges. And that's why it seems like the ink runs out faster when you're using the same setting. You can use photo on both of those printers, but the cartridge one or the one with the higher resolution is using more ink because of the droplet size, how it's going to put it together. It's going to put down more ink to have a better resolution, crisper images, clear images. Whereas with the other one, the ink is spread out a little bit more, which means it's not using as much ink. So if it's not using as much ink because its resolution is not as high, that ink in that tank is going to last longer compared to one. So even if you had, like, let's say you had two EcoTank printers and one had a higher resolution than the other, but they both had like a photo or like a matte type setting, one of them is going, like the one with the higher resolution is still going to run out of ink faster than the other one because of the resolution. So it's not just about ink, the tank versus cartridge. You have to look at the resolution. Any system that has a high resolution is going to use more ink when you're and if you're using those for photos, we're not using plain paper setting. If you just print out a little term paper, printing out a little invoice, something for the school, permission slip, sick note for your kids, you're just going to use plain paper setting. You're not going to be using a lot of ink with that. But if you have these printers that's made for photos, you're going to be using photo settings on photo paper and glossy paper and things like that, matte paper, luster paper. Oh, don't get me started on paper. Did y'all not see? You see, y'all know glossy, y'all know matte. When you have premium fine art rough, premium, okay, this is also fine art rough. You have luster, premium matte, glossy. And this is just the tip of the iceberg because there's a site, Red River. If you go into there and you start to really look at papers, y'all don't want to get me started on papers, okay? Photo platinum, just luxury, okay? Just paper is not paper. You have semi-gloss. It's a whole lot of when it comes to paper. I can't tell you how much paper I have in my house and in the office because all paper is not created equally. They give you different results. They're made for different things. You know, we get into different settings. Like it's a whole lot of. We're not using plain paper setting on good photo paper, okay? We're not using pro platinum and using plain paper setting, okay? So when we're talking about this high resolution, it is when you are using this you are using the printer to its fullest, and you are using premium matte, photo glossy settings for like high resolution, high quality settings. Plain paper gonna give you plain quality on any printer, and it's not gonna utilize a lot of ink. But when you move into those and you're printing on the good-ish, the ink is gonna run out. Like there's no way around it. But if you're printing on, your prices should reflect that. The cost of ink, if you are someone that's just doing casual, you should not be looking at these printers. These printers are for those who are standing on business, okay? You are standing on business right next to T.I. Son. You are ready to make coins. You have clientele. You know that you're going to have a return on your investment. Or you can be a content creator and you know that a return is going to come on your investment. These printers are not for play. Okay, if you've seen the little puppet, these printers are not for play. So even with the cost of the inks, it's because you're about to put them things to work. You're about to make them money makers. We are not playing around with these printers and paying $1,000 for you to be printing out term papers. If you want term papers, go get you a little cheap printer. If you print out, unless you do like maybe a test print, you should not have a lot of plain paper printouts from these printers. Like, let's be for real. Everything that you're printing should be on somebody's photo setting, matte setting, glossy setting. If you're using plain paper setting on these printers on your regular paper, you need to sell it to somebody else who's going to do something with it. And if you're doing something with it, the cost of those cartridges are going to mean nothing because you know the quality of the prints, the clarity, the color accuracy, and your prices should reflect. If you do not know how to price based off of the value of your equipment, the problem is so many of y'all think y'all got a 2800 and think y'all should be charging the same price as somebody with an F570, somebody with a Sawgrass. Baby, the quality is not the same. Okay? It's really not the same. When someone looks at how much money they're spending, you have to price accordingly to the equipment that you have. If you're not at that level, please disregard everything that you've heard for the last 30 minutes. These printers are not for you. These printers are not for you. If you are not going to use them to their fullest, get you a Pixma from Walmart or Target just to test out the Canon. You just want to see how they go. Oh, wait, I can't see any comments from over on the other one. My phone died, so I got to go like this because I can't really go back to the comments. I can go to it, but it's going to make them dizzy. All right, let me see. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go. Y'all can't see my screen. Y'all not going to be able to see my screen for a little minute because it's going to keep doing that until I turn my phone on. Let's see. Satin paper. What printers are we looking at? I just saw Canon. Yeah, I was going over Canon printers because I normally talk about Epson printers, especially for sublimation. But I'm actually, I'm about to be a Canon girl. I've always been a Canon girl, but on the printer side, like my Epson 7720, if they made the workforce printers how they made the 7720, 7710, 76 series, I probably would not have crossed over back to Canon so soon. But because now Epson does not have printers that tickle my fancy, I'm about to be back on my Canon grind. Yes, this exactly, friend. This is not playground stuff. This is big business. Let me pin my friend comment. This big business. This is not playground stuff. I'll go now. Well, I can go back. Okay, I just can't. I can't see y'all comments once I switch off of here, y'all. So, because see, y'all gonna see this because I only have one monitor here. But yeah, we were talking about Canon printers, for like regular stuff, big business, big pressure. HP and Lexmark are the same printers, basically. I despise HP printers the same way I despise HP computers. That's just like talking to me about them Apple people. And the Macs, I don't do them. I don't do HP and I don't do Mac. And that craftastic person better not come for me talking about Macs because I don't do them people. Look, one new message. Let me scroll up. Let's see if this is Craftastic Tips talking junk. Let me see. Let's scroll up. Okay, it wasn't even. Oh, okay. Oh, well, true. You know what, Javaya, that is true. I do have an HP laser. I forgot about that. I do have an HP laser, but it's a small one. My next laser will be a... Oh my gosh. I don't think y'all ready for what my next laser is going to be. Oh, she probably typing out a whole bunch of stuff. I just knew the next comment was going to be from Craftastic Tips because I have a color HP laser. And I have, so for Javaya, the next time we talk, we sit on the phone to talk about printers, you're going to be like, Shakia, seriously? So I used to have a monochrome one because monochromatic laser printers are better for foiling. Have you foiled yet with your laser printer? So they are perfect for foiling because the black ink in just a black and white laser printer is different than the black, kind of sort of different than the black ink when you have um, a color one, because sometimes it wants to do composite and it won't give you just black. So it's a little bit different. So I had, because that one broke. So I had a monochromatic one because of foiling. I used to be heavy in doing foil on cardstock, and it's amazing for it. But we do have a color HP one. Mainly even use, and that's probably why I don't really talk about that one, because mainly even uses that one. But my next laser ones will actually be a white toner, because it's both. A white toner is nothing but a laser printer, but it has white ink. And I want the one that has the white and the black ink, so I can do composite, but you can also do straight black ink. Because if you get the white toner that just has white ink, you can only do composite black. Sorry, my bad, y'all. uh, Wait, Fred, you do foiling? Oh, we definitely gonna have to collab on that. I don't think they really understand the power of foiling with a laser printer. You can do it onto adhesive vinyl, but foiling on a laser, my wedding invitations were foiled. Oh, Shawnee must have left because she didn't comment about the Mac. So the next one will end up being a white toner. So I want an eye color. And then when we get the print shop, y'all don't even I'm not even going to let's see. The fact that it's not even called a toner printer. Hold on. Let's go to I don't want that one. Let's see. Why is it not coming up? Because all right, let's see. Why is it not coming up? Okay, anybody got time for this? If you ever want to look into these printers, this is the level of my printer obsession. If you ever want, like when it comes to finishing, booklets, stapling, binding, like my printer obsession goes deep. It goes really, really deep. So if you've never heard of this company and you want to go deep like me and get up, these these printers are not for play. They ain't. So because I print obituaries, and now we go through a printer, but my goal is to have it like where we are printing them in-house. And this is the brand. And there are different finishing units. When you think about the different finishing units, and ooh, you ever want to see how they print, go to a UPS store. Most UPS stores have them. Like the ones they have in there, they're normally this brand. They're UV printers. Javaya, we got to go to Printed United together. I didn't know you were a print head, a printer geek. You got to come with me to Printed United. You wanted one too? Oh, Javaya, we are twinsies. You got to come with me to Printed United. It's in October. We would lose our mind at Printed United. Impressions has, because Impressions is more apparel, but Printing United is printers. And you need all the days because it is huge. Printed United is huge. So you need all of the days, okay? And you need comfortable shoes. You can't be cute, Javaya, at Printed United. You need you some good tennis shoes with a good sole, because if not, your feet gonna be burning. Printed United is sick. You hear me? It is sickening. You can't be cute, Javaya. No jersey boots. Okay. I know it's probably gonna be cold, a little cool around that time. You're gonna want to come for with all of, bring you some tennis shoes, Javaya. Okay. Okay. But yeah, this is the next round of printers. Yeah, Mamaki's print heads, they go out too much. Like for real, for real. Mamaki's print heads go out too much. So that's what I was saying. So these, it's not just a digital printer. It's called a digital press, even though it's a big laser printer. Oh, that's probably why, because I kept searching digital printer. It's called a digital press. It's a little bit different than offsetting printing. But yeah, this is next level right here. This is next level. All right. I'm hungry, y'all. My stomach has growled at me like 3 times. I need to go eat. This has been an amazing session because I did not know I had printer enthusiasts amongst me. I didn't know that y'all were, I ask y'all questions all the time. And it took for like, y'all don't really ask about printer stuff and like regular printing and things like that. So whoever asked that, thank you. This has been amazing for me to really get into like printers and Canon, and y'all see like I'm not just the Epson girl. Like I know about other printers also. When I tell y'all I am a printer freak, I mean that, and not just about Epsons, which is why I geek out so much about inks and colors. So now you guys see a little bit deeper into why I go so hard about inks and colors and showing you dyed inks and pigment inks and this, that, and the third. Like it runs deep for me. I have an obsession. Okay. She was like, wow, what a lesson. I was about to exit because I'm not in this league, but I stayed. Good insight on printers. And I recently found out the difference in photo paper. So I understand what you're saying about paper quality. I want to get into foiling. Yeah. So thank you guys so very much for this amazing day, because man, I didn't feel like I can talk about printers. I'm kind of ashamed of my printer obsession and how much of a printer geek that I am. But y'all made me feel good today. So thank you so very much. But I'm about to go eat my chilies. But I didn't get baby back ribs. I got me some salmon. I'm gonna go eat my chilies from dinner last night for lunch. And I shall talk to you guys later. Until next time, have a great one. continue to unlock your creativity, and be incredible. Peace.